your quarterback 3 times, you won't have any. You think you have a home field advantage? Walk into Williams Brice at night. They lit that thing up and made last week in College Station look like an absolute joke.
I think what we saw was a healthy Sellers and Sanders.
They will be hurt.
That's all right. Look, that home field advantage, I don't know if there's one in the conference as good as what Williams Brice is at night when it's rocking.
I can't wait to check your Twitter. LSU fans, A&M fans. Go ahead, B-Dub.
Yeah. What I saw was a healthy Sanders and Sellers. They combined for 246 yards, 3 touchdowns between them, and they were the more physical team. They said, we're going to run the football. Texas A&M ran the ball for 25 yards in that second half. South Carolina on the other side ran for 117 yards in the second half. And the defense for South Carolina showed up when they had to. 3 second-half sacks, getting after Marcel Reed. And look, coming into this game, I was thinking, okay, how is this defense going to deal with the zone read? They definitely had a plan for that and shut it down. Didn't allow Texas A&M to do much of anything. Huge one for South Carolina. It kind of reminds me, it's like every single year South Carolina has some sort of marquee win. I think about that Tennessee game a little while ago, but this team has come up short so many times this season, whether it was LSU at home, whether it was going to Alabama, and now they finally get that big win. It was a team effort. But the health of these guys, especially on offense, is what stood out to me in this football game.
I thought South Carolina's defense would be able to match up well against A&M's offense. I didn't think they were the same team on the road as they are at home. But what I didn't know was the offense, particularly the offensive line, if they were going to have the ability to block that front that we saw playing in LSU's backfield snap after snap last week. Didn't allow a single sack today and ran for 286 yards. Every time I criticize Shane Beamer's offensive line, they come out and make me look stupid. So I still stand by the fact that they haven't all year played as consistently, but they did a great job today with both run blocking and protecting Lenore Sellers, who deserves a lot of credit himself.
Lenore Sellers, legs and arm. I mean, he was dynamite. By the way, second most points South Carolina's ever scored against an AP top 10 team. We remember the 63 they hung on Tennessee 2 years ago. All right. To the game that you two, I know we're most eager to watch, and I was eager to watch it right along with a proud Gator and a proud Bulldog in Jacksonville. And, well, of course, Goldberg, big famous Bulldog fan. He was on Nation, too.
Oh, I guess we both got belts, huh?
Yeah. I earned mine.
What do we do in that stadium?
Where's your football?
I don't need one.
Oh, you do need one.
How'd they resolve that?
I don't know that there was much to resolve, to be quite honest.
Did you grab a chair? No.
All right, here we go. Carson Beck. Oh, boy. Chris Doring on the interception.
Love Doring making plays there.
How about it, huh?
Yeah, Devin Moore jumps up and gets that pass. Ill-advised throw from Carson Beck for sure.
Next play, deep. Next play.
This reminded me of the old
Love
days.
it.
Coach Spurrier, after a turnover, in plus territory, taking a shot over the top. Aiden Mizell stepping up. No Trey Wilson. Mizell says no problem.
Gators take the 7-3 lead. This is a team that had lost 3 straight in the series, all by at least 20 points. And then Beck, another one. That's 2 now. That's number 10. 10th pick in 5 games.
He had a lot of eye black on. It was like he may have had some in his eye or something.
But about Florida only had 6 interceptions coming into this game. They already had 2 this first half.
Yeah, a little bit later, Florida up 10-3 Lagway. Yeah, this was where it all changed. Goes down, grabbing that left hamstring, and Graham Mertz already done for the year in his Gator career. Just nothing he can do. We'll get into the next quarterback in just a moment. Meanwhile, former Gator Trevor Etienne dragged down by former teammates, 7 carries, 31 yards, and he left the ball game.
Yeah, it was like more of attrition out there for a little bit. Both sides of the ball, both teams suffering from injuries.
Third quarter, Beck to Dylan Bell. Oh my goodness, what concentration by Bell. Sets the Bulldogs up inside the 5, and on the very next play, Nate Frazier going to take it in from 2, and we are tied at 13. This is into the third quarter. All right, it's he on top.
You can do that. You just can't throat slash, which he finishes there with the penalty.
All right. Florida looking for the lead, but a bad snap on a field goal attempt.
If you've heard this before, special teams issues for Florida.
I've heard it. Ensuing Georgia drive. Beck to Cash Money Jones.
3 catches for 37 yards. They like the matchup today with Cash Jones on the Florida linebackers.
Dogs up 20-13, fourth quarter. Jacoby Jackson. Again, This is a backup quarterback. This is a third-string quarterback. Aiden Warner, a Yale transfer, did a nice job on that drive, leading Florida into position for a Jackson touchdown. Warner, by the way, had taken 11 snaps in his career and thrown 3 passes. Meanwhile, Beck finds the right color jersey, and that right color jersey is Arian Smith, who goes 34 yards. And then Beck to Dominic Lovett, 27-20.
Yeah, a little slip screen to the slot, the O-line, the tight ends go out and block. And it's amazing when everybody's on the same page, this passing game actually can do some things.
Young receivers didn't catch very well. How about your defenders? That's an absolute brilliant catch.
C.J. Allen there off the Warner interception. Warner 7 for 22 in a real difficult spot. Dwight Phillips' first ever carry to touchdown. Dogs win again.
No, I'm not concerned with it because, I mean, you throw the ball, that's going to happen sometimes. I mean, we got to try to do a good job of preventing it, but we also won the game because he can throw the ball, right? We weren't able to run the ball down their throat in the fourth quarter. We threw the ball. And he makes checks, decisions. I mean, there's 3 plays in that last 2 drives that nobody knows what he did, and he's got elite knowledge of what's going on and puts us in the right play, and the plays work when he puts us in them. He's got to be willing to take check downs and what defense gives him and not force the ball a lot of times. But as to what keeps him from pressing, if I knew that, I would be worth a lot more money.
You think about it now, just a few weeks ago, that he's standing around eating ice cream, So, and then all of a sudden, Graham Mertz is down. I'm the 2, and then here we go 2 weeks later. It's Florida, Georgia, and I'm trotting on the field in mid-second quarter here. And I have a locker room of players that, I have a responsibility to. So hats off to Aiden in terms of how he handled that today.
The celebration was all Georgia's for the 4th time in a row and the 7th time in the last 8 seasons. But Beck certainly... It's got to be bothersome, right? We're talking 11 interceptions in the last 5 games with his 3.
I'll tell you what's not bothersome. Seeing these celebrations is never bothersome.
It's bothersome to me.
Whenever you beat Florida, it is a fantastic day. Now, put the analyst hat on, and yes, it is bothersome to see so many interceptions. Great to see the smiling faces, but the interceptions at some point are going to catch up with you. You mentioned the 11 interceptions in the last 5 games. Well, 7 of those have been in the first half of games. And so when you look at Carson Beck's body of work, very talented player. We all rank him pretty high when it comes to quarterbacks, but he's got to make better decisions. Can't throw the football into team meetings of the other team. And also the communication with wide receivers. There were several times over this season and even in this game where you've seen Carson Beck make changes at the line of scrimmage, and whether it was the receiver understanding it or him being clear with the check, it turns into an interception or an incomplete pass at best sometimes. And so, look, I thought defensively for Georgia, though, they kept Georgia in this football game. The defense put the offense in position to score. They get 14 points off 2 turnovers. And CD, on those turnovers, Georgia's offense only had to go 36 yards and 7 yards in order to get touchdowns in that second half.
No doubt. Complimentary football there. But when Florida scored in the fourth quarter to make it 20-20, it was all Carson Beck. A 7-play drive